Hello everyone, it's Caitlin. Today we are making an 1860s cotton print dress. Hello and welcome. So we're going to make an 1860s dress today. Actually it's late 1850s to mid 1860s. So I know I've lamented on the channel about how most of my working class wardrobe at that time period is plaid and that I need more prints in my wardrobe. So I went and bought a couple prints. And this one, I actually found another reproduction dress that was out of this exact fabric. And I fell in love with it and I decided to find it. Well, it turned out it's been out of print for like 10 years. And so I found one place online. It was very sketchy. I wasn't sure if the fabric was actually going to be there because the website didn't look like it had been updated in several years. But I took a chance on it. And so, yeah, I spent a lot of time looking for this fabric and I'm very, very happy with it. It's so pretty and it has these beautiful little berries on it. I'm very, very, very excited to work on this dress. So, we're going to get started. We're going to go ahead and even up this end. Perfect. And go ahead and cut our skirt. So I'm going to cut 3 panels for the skirt. And I asked Red about like the motifs, like should they go up on the dress or should they go down? And he said down. So I think we're gonna go with down. Skirt's ready. So I have my bodice piece, or the front bodice. This is the pattern I drafted myself. It's the same pattern we always use. And the bodice back. And sleeves, I'm not going to use a pattern because I'm just going to do a bishop sleeve. So we won't actually need that. And there's one bodice front. Go ahead and cut the second one. Motifs are going down. Okay, we're good. I'm going to measure how wide this is. Be a pretty narrow bishop sleeve. And I needed at least 27 inches long per sleeve. Let's see if we can get the back from this. Okay, I'm going to actually take my waistband and my piping from this instead. I should need 2 of these strips for a waistband. I have 1.5 inch waistband plus 1/2 inch seam allowance on either end, so we're going to do a 2.5 inch waistband to cut it. Waistband. The only other thing I need other than piping is the back bobble, so let's go ahead and cut that over here. One of these should be good for cuffs, and I think I want my cuffs an inch and a inch and a half wide to match my waistband. So it's 1.5, but we're going to need to multiply that by 2 to get 3, and then add 1 inch to get 4, and that's for seam allowance. Get about 1.25 inches. Cut the skirt facing first. I should need 3 of these. So let's go ahead and cut it. Yeah, facings vary from 4 to 8-ish inches, somewhere in there. Let's go down the middle and go 6. I should have enough left over of that to cut out lining for the waistband. So now ironing the facing, we put the facing on. Ended up having to re-sew most of the skirt just because the self stitch was sewing through. I thought I had it measured to where it wasn't going to show through, and I was wrong. So just sewed it up real quick. It took 5 minutes. Some of that was on camera, some of that wasn't. So I don't know what's going to end up in the video. But now I'm just facing it. This is how we hem things in the 19th century. Well, not everything. Some things are regularly hemmed, but this is the best way to hem a dress and the most common way to hem a dress. Fold that back. We want to see a hint of the fashion fabric, just a hint. We're going to pin it up so that we can hand stitch the top of this. Alright, made my piping. So we can go ahead and add this piping cord, which I believe is size 5 cotton. 5 to 8 is about what I use for piping cord. Anything that's yarn, weight is going to be far too heavy. Piping is done. Alright, let's work on this bodice. I'm going to iron this first. Alright, we're going to make a curved back detail. I'm going to find the center of the back. About 3/4 of an inch on either side. Could be a little bit less than that. Could be 1/2 an inch on either side. And this is just because I didn't cut a 3-piece back. Most of the ones you see aren't actually, like you see that curved back detail in most 60s dresses. But what you don't see is most of the time that's not 3 separate pieces for the back. It's actually just a tuck taken. So now I should have it marked. And I've seen so many of them at this point. I can just do this. You probably need to look at a lot of originals to get the shaping right, and they're all kind of different. So start somewhat halfway between your shoulder seam and your underarm seam, somewhat, and then 1/2 an inch on either side of your center, and just curve that line up, and you'll get pretty close. And this is a whole lot easier than trying to sew those curved seams. And you're not sewing a seam, so it doesn't need to be any more than a scant little line. Check that one, make sure I caught it all. Now we have what looks like a 3-piece back. So if you ever see an original garment and you wonder how she got that pattern to match almost exactly, I guarantee you it's not a real 3-piece back. This is a cotton dress, so it's very unlikely that it would be darted or the cotton outer fabric would be darted. It just wasn't in fashion. You see it very, very rarely on work dresses primarily, but not generally on most dresses. Like 99% of them are pleated or gathered. I can dart the lining. So if you want the look of a darted bodice that like fits you really nice, go with the darted lining. It's all going to have a fitted waistband anyway, so it's okay. Now we have a bodice shell shape, essentially. So I'm going to iron the seams open and then push them towards the back. So now we have a bodice shell. We're going to prep it for hooks and eyes. This is at the side that folds over, so for me I put this at 1 1/4 basically. Because this has a raw edge, I'm going to do something I've seen on a couple original dresses, but I don't typically do, and that is to fold that over top. This side needs to be folded over 2 inches. Now there's tons of different ways to do hooks and eyes. This is just one way that I found on originals that I own. It's not the only way. That is all ready for the closures. Let's go ahead and pipe at least the neckline, but probably also the waistline, and we'll go put the waistband on. I ran out of bobbin thread. All the way back there, really? Waistline piping, I think I'm going to sew on by hand just to eliminate some bulk. I'm so excited to see this done. Alright, so I have the sleeve here. I put a little gathering thread in there, and I am just working the cuff into the sleeve. So making sure the sleeve is all nicely gathered, evenly distributed on the gathered portion, and putting a pin in there. Alright, this is going to go into the machine pile now so that I can get that whipped around. But since I'm here, we're going to go ahead and work on this. Alright, let's talk about the gauging, which we've done on the channel several times. We actually have a how to gauge video somewhere on the channel. So, start off, this is the left side of the bodice, so this part is going to go over this once I get all that put together. That way there's no gappage, and if it kind of goes over slightly, there's still a little extra fabric. And just make regular bites. Okay, so let's start our second row.
He will leave it for somebody else to take care of. When it comes to cleaning, he doesn't get a lot of oil.
It's tradition to put a good amount of oil on hummus, so for Chef Ramsay not to like it is a shocker to me.
Enough. You don't need something explained to me 3 times. He's here.
Alright, so I have the bottom edge of the bodice here, but I did put our gathering thread on the bottom of the top bodice. Oops, that's supposed to stay there. And we're just going to pull it to where it matches. This is where the darts actually do come in handy. Make sure that looks nice. And then we're going to stitch on the rest of this piping. After this, I'll put on my waistband. I also need to sew those cuffs. So we'll finish this. I'll go do the cuffs that we talked about earlier because I've still not done those. I will sew on the waistband, and then we'll come back and sew basically the rest of it. Then we'll come back and do the hooks and eyes on the cuffs, sew the sleeves in, all that fun stuff. Alright, so now I'm working on the piping. I'm just finishing this out. I did the same for the neckline. Doing our little whip stitch to close this, and then I'm going to put the closures on and I guess assemble everything, because everything is done at this point. We just got to assemble it all. Alright, putting it on the sleeves. So we're at the point everything is done. It's just attaching time. Or assembling time. Because we had a complete skirt, we had completed sleeves, we have a completed bodice, and it's just putting them together. Alright, we're attaching the skirt. And we've done gauging on the channel before, so the pleats get tacked into the waistband. Or, this is actually not even a waistband, this is the piping. We're going to put in this partial waistband at the front, since I have this opening as a side front dress. You know, I love pleating, and I love pleated skirts, but there's something just so satisfying about looking at the beautiful, perfect little gauging pleats just sitting there at the edge of her waistband. It just makes me so happy. I mean, they're just so perfect and pretty, and I love looking at them. Here we are. So I've actually already worn it. I wore it for Saturday. I think today's Thursday. I just haven't gone around filming the end of this. But it worked out really well. And I'm telling you, this is my new favorite 1860s dress. And yeah, I did split up my corset. It'll get fixed. Just not yet. And yeah, I'm only wearing one petticoat today, so it's a little bit skimpy. Alright, there's the bodice. Put these on. I love these cuffs. They are so adorable. I'm so glad I bought so much fabric of this. I bought so much of this stuff. I'm gonna make a chemise and drawers out of it too, because it's just lovely white work. But oh my goodness, the way it just sets off a cuff, it's amazing. So not really full sleeves. I prefer my bishop sleeves full on the bottom and very kind of light on the top. That's just personal preference. You see them lots of different ways. Just finished a wrap or two for this time period, and it's very full on top and on the bottom. And okay, I kind of like that too, but just for everyday wear, I do kind of prefer a smaller bishop sleeve. Takes a little bit less fabric. Still plenty of room in here, but it doesn't look as poofy and boofy, and that's just personal preference of mine. I think the only thing I might have changed is to do something different in the back, because I always do my backs the exact same way, and I need to show a little bit of variety in my backs, because technically I could have just not done the 3-piece, could have made it a little bit wider on the bottom and gathered in the back a little bit, just at the very bottom there, like right here. So it would fit up here. It's not a yoke, but it would be a little gathered down here. And I like the look of that, and I think it would have looked really good with the gathering here. I just didn't think about it at the time, and I mean, I have enough fabric to recut the back, but I'm not going to. So I have enough fabric to make like a little girl dress or something, which would be adorable to have like matching mommy and me 1860s dresses. I think that'd just be cute. But yeah, so yeah, my new favorite 1860s dress, which is awesome. Glad we got it done. I'm so glad I found this fabric. And yeah, I have a lot more fabric to be made up now. So I guess we'll be doing that in the next couple of years. Probably not next year. I gotta really work on some Regencies and 1880s stuff, because I got 2 major events coming up in the early spring. I think most of our sewing next year for 19th century is gonna be those 2 events, because I don't have a lot, and yeah, I'm gonna need some stuff. But maybe in the next couple of years I'll make another 1860s dress. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Click that little bell notification so you're notified anytime I upload a new video. And also notice that we have a new button underneath. You click by my name. There's a join button. You can join and become a member of the channel, and there are special perks and privileges thereof. So go check that out if you have the time. Really appreciate that. And as always, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you back here in the next video.